Who are the coolest dudes on the planet?
United States veterans.
What's the coolest sport on the planet?
Pro wrestling.
And what would be the coolest podcast on the planet? That would be this one.
U.S. military vets talking pro wrestling.
This is the No Shave Man Cave. Two badass disabled vets sharing their love of pro wrestling, giving you their perspective as fans, talking about current events and matches, history of titles, and who knows what else. Let's do it.
Welcome to the No Shave Men Cave. Now your hosts, Ellie Jair and Jay Tilley.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. We will call this our state of the podcast. I'm Ellie Jair.
This is Jay Tilley.
Welcome. Hey man, how you doing? What's up?
I'm good, man. I know I threw this one on you. It's surprising, but kind of wanted to do. We just recorded 3 in a row, I think.
Yes, sir.
3 podcasts in a row. But I kind of wanted to do a quick state of the podcast for us and our fans because we've changed a lot since our first, let's say, on your telephone, sitting in the man cave, trying to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I think we've got a little more focus now. Yeah, dry erase board. I think we've got a little more focus, a little better equipment, and a little better idea of where we want to go and things we want to accomplish as we grow and continue this journey. Like I said to you the other day, like we started off as hey, let's have fun with this. I'm still having a blast with it. Still want to keep having a blast with it. But at the same time, if we can make it something bigger and better, and like I said, why not us? You know, if we can grow and have a focus on it, I think it'd be great. So, wanted to put this out to everybody that listens. We're continuing to grow. Actually, we're growing more than I thought our little selves would grow. You look in almost 1,500 downloads in a month, which I'll take that. That's 1,500 people.
Humbling, and I think it's really cool when you look. Like you said, we're just a couple of disabled vets on a fixed income who like to talk about wrestling and a bunch of other stuff. And if the crowd of the other wrestling fans, of the other veterans, they want to go on this journey with us, then let's have a blast. Let's I really like your idea of what's our ultimate focus going to be. We want to talk about wrestling. We want to talk about barbecue. I'm a big bourbon fan. I just bought like 4 or 5 bottles the other day, and I'm not drinking this month, and I can't wait till the first to crack them open.
Yep.
And have a little bourbon, do a little bourbon review. You're over in your cave doing a cigar review, and we get focused on what else we want to do. So I'm all in. I want to bring the fam with us. Those 1,500 strong this month. I think we're almost up to 2,000 total. And like I said before, totally super humbling, and it's an honor and a privilege to be going on this journey. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because, yes, we're talking numbers and total downloads, which I know is piddly for nothing. But same thing with like Twitter, right? So I'm trying to get our Twitter game going just to start spreading the news, and the amount of people that are jumping on and following us, and then I message and say, "Hey, thanks for following us," that are checking out our podcast. Whether or not they stick with us or not, I don't know. One of the things I ask everybody, and I'll say it at the end of this podcast, and I'm going to start saying at the end of every podcast, is we want feedback, right? Yep. We want to know the things you guys are enjoying hearing. We want to know what you don't enjoy. If you like when, Ellie Jair there gives the rundown on the matches and don't like the way I do it, cool. Let us know so we can adjust.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we improve and grow. And the idea is to make this something for everybody that's listening to us, and loyal listeners stick with us throughout. And obviously, as we grow and continue, we just got added to the New York Podcasting Network, which is pretty cool. They picked us up in New York. So it's a podcast network based out of New York where they put like-minded people doing podcasts. Podcasts? Yeah, that's a new word. Podcasts. Doing podcasts.
Write that one down. I'm going to use that one later.
Yeah, doing podcasts on their own and trying to connect us with guests, commercials, that kind of things to help us grow. And I'm excited to be part of them. And that made me think of, like you said, bringing this into focus. So first thing I want to say is we're not going to lose the focus on wrestling. Ideally, what we are going to do is have a schedule for our wrestling instead of trying to go, hey, we should talk about this. We've kind of put together a schedule. So ideally, what we're going to do, barring anything that comes up or happens, is we will watch Monday Night Raw. Then Tuesday, we'll get together, record the Raw review from the Man Cave, him and I's perspective on it. We're going to try to keep those to about 30 minutes, may go an hour. I'd like to keep it 30, but sometimes they're just good and we talk a lot. And like you said, we're two disabled vets that like to talk, and sometimes we'll talk a lot. But, we'll record those Tuesday. I'll hang them out Tuesday night. Then we'll watch Dynamite on Wednesdays. Preferably record our, not preferably, we will record our review on Thursdays for that, drop that Thursdays. And then Friday, we'll watch Rampage and SmackDown, drop those on Saturday. And then any premium live events or anything like that, the plan is to review those, possibly do live reviews or instant reactions, but we'll hang those the next day after the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Outside of that, that'll be the set schedule. Like those will be the shows we'll drop weekly, 3 a week at least. But like you just said, the bourbon, the cigars, the talking about barbecue, those kind of things I'm not going to put on a schedule because we don't know when we're going to talk about those. But those will be the ones that we'll just say will be a surprise. Hey, I've got this buddy of mine who's going to try some bourbons with us. Let's get on and record. So I'm not going to put those on a set schedule. But we're going to call those the Outside the Ring podcast.
Yeah.
So for all of our listeners, if you see that Outside the Ring blank, it's because we're not talking about wrestling. We'll probably still talk something about wrestling. But ideally, it's going to be focused on smoking meats in the backyard or, cutting the tip off the cigar. You just cut the tip off of the cigar. Just the tip.
Or whenever I get my wood out and get it ready nice and soft, if you get enough sandpaper is what I was getting at. Is getting the wood ready.
More soft wood? Oh, got it. Getting the wood ready. Got it. But yeah, so we just wanted to put something out there with a solid schedule. Besides that way, if we put it out there to you guys, then we've got to stick to it.
Keeps us honest.
Yep. So the other thing that is very near and dear to both of our hearts is the military vets and military in general. And with that being said, I'll let you take this part. But on the 22nd, we're going to try to do a special podcast every month. So go ahead. I'll let you talk this.
Yeah, man. So unfortunately, the bulk of the veterans that get out, they struggle with a few different things. One can be some of the things that we've seen are not always the nicest things or the things that we want to remember the most. And they're hard to remember. And once you are removed from the military, your support system goes away. And we want to help those that suffer, and whether we're their support system and they come and listen to us for a little bit of suspended belief. And we're going to do that on the 22nd of every month because unfortunately roughly 22 veterans take their lives every day. And there's so many great foundations, so many great resources out there for us to reach out and get help from. And we're going to little by little bring those to light. So we have some mental health folks that are going to come in and help us from time to time. We will have resources available, and they're going to join us on our podcast. And we're going to have a host of opportunities to come in contact with those who are either providing support or who are needing support and got that support and what it did for them. So I know it's helped me immensely. I'm I was stubborn. I fought it and didn't want to get help. And once I did, I feel like, one of the best ways to explain it is I feel like I can finally take a deep breath of air, which I haven't been able to do for years and years. So I appreciate the motivation and support that I got to go get that help.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And one of the other things that I would like to see as hopefully as we grow and become is to donate and give back to some of those charities and some of those things that have helped you and I, veterans, support groups, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ideally, if we can get the kind of popularity, I mean, I do it anyway. I try to give back to whatever I can, but it'd be neat to kind of host a, hey, if you're struggling to find a job coming out of the military, let's hold a resume writing class. Even let's get together at the local bar, and I think you said you used to do it, right? You have the guys show up.
There's a really cool thing here in Jacksonville, Florida. If you're on LinkedIn, you can just type in Veterans on Tap. They meet at the Veterans Brewery, which is a veteran-owned brewery, and they do it in the morning or in the afternoon. So there's coffee and cakes and stuff like that. And then sometimes we do meet in the evening, and it's just a little bit of camaraderie, exchanging ideas, all the way down to helping someone tie a tie, which some of us just take for granted, and we can do whatever knot we want. But just the little things, and they come out and, hey, welcome to the cave. Looks like you shaved, but hey, you're still a veteran. You're here. Your family. You're stuck with us.
Yep. Yeah. So again, very, very dear to both of us. I've had some help in the past also that completely changed my outlook on life in general. So we're going to do our first one of those. Actually, we're going to probably record it tomorrow, and it'll go live on the 22nd.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy that works in the field of mental health and helping people, specifically homeless people, summer vets, with finding resources and help in Georgia. And he's going to be on tomorrow to kind of tell us. I didn't really give him a guidance. I just said, hey, come on, you can tell us. He struggled a lot also. So I said, if you feel comfortable telling your story, I'm good with that. If you want to tell your story and some of the things you've seen or helped with, I'm good with that. We're just going to make it comfortable, and it'll be our first one, but it will not be our last. This is something that we both, I think even when we first talked about doing this, that was the number one thing we wanted to talk about. And that being said, we're also going to try to get a little more focused on the actual standard podcast of trying to leave a little, hey, be safe, be well. If you got any mental issues, here's some resources to help. And I think I'm going to pin them on our Twitter account too. I'm going to pin some of the resources up there. So if anybody needs it, they can reach out.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, you don't follow us on Twitter, we're the No Shave Man Cave at No Shave Man Cave on Twitter. If we'll have some videos on YouTube, which JT and we do little shorts, and then we do shorter videos. And my wife is just recently passed the test to be a licensed mental health counselor, and how she puts up with me is totally beyond me. But without her, I wouldn't be who or where I am now. So we'll constantly be using her for resources, and then we'll find military specific, family specific, and we'll gear that toward whatever the theme is of the month. So, if it's Black History Month, we'll have some folks that come in that deal specifically with that culture, whether it is or isn't frowned upon. Same thing with some indigenous cultures that's just totally frowned upon. And then, especially when it comes around the holidays and military and veterans are away from families, we'll find ways and things for them to be able to connect and feel like they're at home, even though they're not.
Yep. And you have my word. We're going to try to make it fun and lighthearted as best as we can. We know some of them might be a heavy subject, but ideally we're going to have fun. And I'm sure we'll throw a wrestling story in there or not. My buddy Jeremy, who's coming on tomorrow, does not know this yet, but we're going to surprise jump him and have him stay on for our Raw review afterwards. So that'll be fun to watch him kind of fumble through and not know what to talk about. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
He better have watched. At a minimum, we need him to watch our 2 recommended matches for. What matches would you have a non-wrestling fan watch?
Man,
so JT's was Hulk Hogan and The Rock from WrestleMania, and mine was the 3-way between the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys for a ladder match, and it had everything that both of the matches had everything. Where there was the story and the struggle and sort of almost a passing of the torch and just pure fun. And you didn't have to know anything about the characters even. You just saw two teams. For mine was 3, but you had people going against one another in a true struggle, and it was just awesome. So hopefully at a minimum we can get him to flip through, fast forward maybe a little bit. But I'm excited to have him on and get his thoughts and hear some of his stories to get him to where he is today, because I don't want to say a struggle, but it's you got to put in work, and you definitely get a return on investment. So
I don't want to give it's his story to tell, but he's
that's true.
He's been through it, so I don't know how much he'll open up or what he'll go through, but hopefully he does. But the more importantly is I'd like him to talk about some of the resources he's seen, at least in Georgia.
Yeah,
we do have some listeners in Georgia, according to the big map that we've seen. So, but back to the lighter note stuff that will be to come. And like I said, we're going to start doing some outside the rings. Jared already mentioned you can follow us at No Shave Man Cave on Twitter. We mentioned YouTube. We've been hanging these podcasts up in a visual version if you want to see if we really do shave or not. And, you want to see these ugly mugs talk into our mics and not just listen to our beautiful, sexy sounding, soothing voices.
The sultry sounds.
The sultry sounds of my radio voice. If you want to see us. The other fun thing about the video is you get to see how many things that we edit out of the audio version that I don't edit out of video, because neither one of us are good at editing the videos yet.
Yeah.
There's a lot more ums, uhs, and uhs.
Yeah, we are doing a lot better, and every time we get a 5-star or 5-beard rating, I find another podcast to go listen to about non-wrestling, just to hear how they do their interviews or how they do with their guests, and how far do they let their guests go. And I'm really, really interested in getting better. So anytime you drop some feedback to us, I will, I'll definitely take it into consideration and apply it to the best of my ability. And if there's matches or titles or things in wrestling that you want us to cover, hey, we love wrestling, and we talk all the time anyway. So for us to be here on, we're here on Riverside right now. Acast hosts our podcast, and YouTube lets us hang videos too. So it's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast, and I'm completely humbled that we've got the following that we already do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned Twitter. You can also get us on email. It's noshavemancave@gmail.com. We've actually already gotten Rick emailed us there, our first fan letter. So shout out to Rick if you're still listening. I hope you're still listening. We hooked you on the first 2 shows. I know we had a rough patch there where I was listening back recently, and you can tell we were trying to monitor what we were saying and keep it to a script, and almost like we were reading, and stressing about time. I think the last 4 or so, we've gone a little longer than we had planned on originally talking about, but I think they flow a little better, and we seem to be hitting that stride. So just going to get better from here. And like I said, the feedback is welcome. I don't put it out there on Twitter just to say it. I really mean it. If you're one of our Twitter followers that clicked on the show just to see what we're about, I mean it. I like the feedback. I want to know what we're doing. Yeah. Even if it's you guys suck and should never be on the air again, cool. That's feedback we'll take into consideration, and probably tell you to pound dirt while we continue on if you don't like us that way.
Yeah. But we'll have you on.
Yeah. Come on and talk to us. Tell us why.
Tell us in person.
Yeah.
Where is the misunderstanding?
Yeah. Tell us why you don't like us. No, yeah. I mean, for real though, like if it's not for you, cool. I'll never tell anybody to listen to something that's not for them. Yeah. But if you are enjoying it, obviously go into Apple, leave us that 5-star review, leave us a review on there. Tell us some feedback. Tell us what we could do better. Like you said, what you'd like to include. Jer Bear, there is a wealth of knowledge in his brain when it comes to wrestling. He'll start quoting facts and talking about title belts that he brought up a wrestler the other day, and I consider myself a wrestling fan, and I had no idea who he was talking about. So, hit us up, Mid-South, if you want to hear more of that, if you want to hear some history, if the reviews we're doing are so standard that everybody else does them and you want to see something different, let us know.
Yeah.
We're all about it.
I hope to reach out to some of the title makers, get them on, talk about what got them started, how they decide what medium they're going to use, the finish. If you look over my shoulder, this one is finished in silver. You look over my other shoulder, the NXT North American title is silver and bronze and black and gold. So what was it? What were they trying to do? Just all that stuff is just super interesting to me. You look over JT, he's got 2 of the most majestic titles ever made, the Winged Eagle and AEW, the maker of the AEW title, Milliken. He swears that that's his finest piece of art, and I don't disagree with him. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. So that was pretty much the only reason I want to jump on this one is kind of give a state, set our schedule up so you can expect at least 3 podcasts a week out from us.
Yep.
Probably more as we get better and make more time and get better at it and smoother. So I'm not spending 3 hours trying to edit it down to make it fit on Acast. But so Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you'll see a drop from us. Probably, ideally, maybe the Outside the Ropes will maybe record throughout the week and maybe drop them every Sunday. Maybe we'll do one a week or whatnot. The 22nd will be dropped on the 22nd of the month. No matter what day that is, it may fall in there with all the other reviews, but we'll drop on the 22nd.
It'll still be available.
Yep. So wanted to give that again. Please hit us up on Twitter at NoShaveManCave. Email us noshavemancave@gmail.com. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast from, we're out there. We're there. I think we're on almost every platform there is. Trying to get our name out there.
Stitcher. If you're up on YouTube, hit us with the subscribe. Tell us what you think in the messages or comments. Let us know. Do you want to see, the different versions of the Spinaroonie, whatever video you want. We're in for it, man. This is a lot of fun, and the things that we want to do with this show, the support that we want to give, and the support we want to get back from the fam. And I think I'm very, very excited about the future of the No Shave Man Cave.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the New York Podcasting Network for hooking us up and putting us on there. Really appreciate that. We'll just see growth from there. Matter of fact, New York, if I pulled up our Acast map, I think New York we have the most downloads from, so it fits. 2 Florida boys are popular in New York. Go figure.
Yeah. If you're in Jamestown, New York, appreciate that. Buffalo, New York is where I was born. Spent a lot of time in Jamestown, so very cool. Living here in St. Augustine, JT in Jacksonville, Florida, and we are in it to win it. So good deal.
Yep. All right, folks. This has been just kind of a state of the podcast. letting everybody know what our schedule is, what our plans are for the future, asking for some feedback and some follows. Give us those follows and downloads, subliminally. Follow, download, tell your friends, log into their computers, follow and download us so we can get monetized and make some money out of this deal.
Heck yeah.
But I really am doing it for the fun. If we get money out of it, cool. If not, I'm still just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, buddy. So, once again, I am Ellie Jair.
I am Jay Tilley.
Yes, sir. Wherever you get your podcast, please download, subscribe the No Shave Man Cave podcast. If you are a subscriber of the YouTube, Twitter, or any other social media, look us up, No Shave Man Cave. We are there. Thank you so much for tuning in to the state of the podcast. Look forward to talking to you on a supportive note every 22nd of the month, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Till next time, take care. We'll see you on the floor.
You've been listening to the No Shave Man Cave.
If it's pro wrestling, we're talking about it. Unless we see something shiny and wander off into the woods. If you hang around long enough, we'll eventually come back. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Fire off your comments and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at No Shave Men Cave. Y'all be cool. And we'll see you next time on the floor.